Well, things have changed quite a lot in my life. Um, I I found an old video. It wasn't that old. I think it would be about 3 weeks ago, or even less. And I put it on the internet, and it was before everything had come crashing down. Shortly after that video, everything came crashing down upon my head, and the crashing was to do with my health, which was failing, and speaking to my sister about this and looking online, I'd become convinced I needed to go easy on the carnivore diet and start introducing some vegetables and perhaps some carbohydrates, because found that I was unable to sleep and had constant cramps. So at the same time that was happening, the offer for my house was withdrawn. So I informed the estate agent in Blackpool that I was therefore unable to come up with the cash in short order, because I was expecting a sale to go through in a matter of months. And so the property that I was aiming to buy was withdrawn from the market shortly after. And I vacillated a little bit, but it seemed to be heaven sent, because what had been happening is that I'd become extremely anxious about the move and increasingly dour when I was thinking of the prospects of it, because the house that I had agreed to purchase in Blackpool, on closer inspection, did need a lot of work, which is going to be expensive and uncomfortable. And also it was exposed, something that I hadn't previously considered, because it was on an outside corner of two streets. And so the fence around two sides of the property would have been easily climbed over by somebody who wanted to come and have a look. And I thought I might feel a bit more vulnerable in that sort of a property. And I'd even thought about getting myself a German Shepherd dog as a sort of companion. So I was becoming more and more anxious about this impending move into a property that was just extremely shabby, actually, from a comfortable and sorted house. And so I seized the opportunity, and I cancelled the sale of my house. But I was only able to do it thanks to my sister, because the reason that I had decided to move, and it's not a good reason for moving, of course, I understand that now, was that I had no money, and by purchasing a lower value house, I could put some money in the bank and maybe put it to interest, or start a business or something and increase my income. But the moving process itself was a drain on my resources, because I found I couldn't concentrate on work, and I was spending money on solicitors and surveyors and so on and so forth. And simply the money, I had no more. I was in serious financial straits. And my sister very kindly offered to sort my finances out. She's done this all her life. She's very good with money. And I agreed readily and gave her my bank statements, and she went through them, and we had a bit of a chat. And the good news was that she thought I could recover my financial stability on certain conditions. And one of those conditions was that I didn't have any money for driving around in a sports car. And she also said I didn't have any money to be smoking a pipe really either. But anyway, and I just had to greatly reduce my lavish lifestyle. And She was absolutely right about that, in fact. I'd been proceeding with a head in the sand attitude for quite a while, so it was a great correction for me, and it was a relief to think that I can stay in my house now. Despite the other drawbacks and all the rest of it, it's somewhere that I know, and I do feel comfortable here, so I'm grateful for that. I suppose it's the Lord that had stepped in and pulled me out of the flames that I had laid for myself. And it was a great correction, and I really valued it, and it's helped my relationship also with my sister, I think. I've understood her perspective far more. And I've learnt now just a very basic, that basic old lesson, you must spend less than you earn. It's pretty simple, but that's how it is. And you must save some money as well. And so that's what I've started doing that. I don't use my credit card. I use cash. Apparently, it's very common to get into financial difficulty these days, largely because of the use of plastic. It's harder to keep track on your spending. And it really is because, you use it online, or I used to, online, in the shop, here in the pub, and it's just becomes an automatic gesture. I thought I wasn't spending too much, but in actual fact, I was spending a small fortune quite unnecessarily. Another thing that my sister recommended was a change of diet, of course, for health reasons, but also for cost reasons, because she said, well, in actual fact, you are spending a lot on your steaks. Because I don't keep track of these things, I thought it wasn't too bad at all, but perhaps it was. So now I have a weekly budget, and my beloved MX-5 has been sold, so I'm on the bus, which is quite a sort of humiliation in a way. I mean, just in a worldly sort of way. Um, it's quite funny using my bus pass this week to go to the Truth meeting, whereas 2 weeks ago I rolled up in my smart ride. But those things really don't matter at all, And I had a good deal of fun when I was driving it around, and it cost me a fortune, of course. Vanity is an expensive thing, but there we have it. So things have changed greatly, and I'm feeling fine. I'm feeling okay. Probably not totally top health, but that doesn't really matter. I'm just recuperating. I hadn't realised the stress of the moving sort of process. I no longer felt that I was living in my own house because it was on the market, and so I stopped kind of looking after it. I didn't know how to proceed. And I began to feel very uncomfortable, as though I was in somebody else's house. So I was saved by the bell. I was saved by the Lord, I should say. God bless everybody today. Bit dismal here in the UK, but it's not raining, so that's good.